what is this? Why are there giant bugs flying on the cover of Chain of Iron? Hey! What is up, everyone? My name is Andrew. If you don't know me, you should subscribe because, like, why not? But anyway, today I'm going to be doing a breakdown / analyzation of the Chain of Iron cover by Cassandra Clare, and I am so excited to do this video. I have done a little bit of research, I've done my own speculations, and I'm just ready. We got the cover reveal a few days ago, and I wanted to film this video right away, but I went camping, was out of town, and I could not film, and so I've just had to wait. And then I kind of thought somebody would do a video like this, and then nobody did. So I'm like, I'd want to see this video if, you know, somebody else had made it, so why not do it myself? But I know there's been a lot of backlash, there's been a lot of back and forth on, like, people who like the cover, people who hate the cover. There's so many tweets that I've seen of people saying it's the ugliest thing ever, and I'm just like, let's just take a second, let's just take 1 second and look at the facts. Okay. It's just a cover, it's not that big of a deal, and it's also not ugly. Is it the best thing ever? No, but like, it's not the worst thing ever, and we're gonna break it down, and maybe after people watch this video and know some like background things and understand some of the symbolism and meaning of the cover, maybe it'll change your opinion, or you just think it's ugly, and that's fine. So I have a full-on notes essay written down of everything I want to talk about, and basically I've separated the cover and broke it down into 6 different little categories of what I want to talk about. I also want to mention that I watched Cassandra Clare's live that she did with Hannah from A Clockwork Reader, I believe, when she actually did the reveal. So all the information about the cover that I'm going to say is going to be directly from Cassie's live, from Cassandra Clare herself, or my own speculations of what certain things are going to mean for the Chain of Iron book, the sequel to Chain of Gold, the second book, and the Last Hours trilogy. Okay, I'm also just assuming that if you're here, you know pretty much the general plot of Chain of Gold, and you know what's like going on. But if you don't, I'm not going to spoil like anything huge, so you're fine. But I'm just assuming that if you're here, you already know. Okay. So the first kind of category that I'm going to talk about is Lucy Herondale. Lucy is on the cover, as you can see. I'm going to put a picture, it's probably already up, of the Chain of Iron cover, and I'm also looking at it so I can look at it and talk to you guys at the same time. But okay, so clearly Lucy is on the cover. She has her long brown hair and whatever. So first off, I want to say that, like, Cassandra Clare said herself that the person on the cover does not necessarily mean that that is the main character, that is the person who has the biggest role in the book. That's not generally what it means in a book. Like, usually it's more for aesthetic purposes, and it doesn't exactly mean that, like, Lucy is going to have some giant overarching, like, big role, but I'm sure she will. She's one of the main characters, obviously. But I just want to put that out there, that, I mean, I feel like they had to go with somebody that still looks pleasing, even if they aren't, you know, necessarily going to be like Cordelia again, or like James. But I really hope they do James on the next one. But yeah, I feel like the hair is too long. Like, Cordelia's hair was like okay, like it just kind of went. Lucy's hair does bother me. Something about this image bothers me, and I don't know if it's the brown color, it's so chocolatey. I don't know if it's the length. Actually, it is the length, I'm just gonna say it. Lucy doesn't have that long of hair. Like, I'm pretty sure she's never been depicted with long hair like that, like to the floor. And I know it's fantasy. I know the cover, like I said myself, is not an actual representation of, you know, canon things from the book, but it's still a bit off. I think that we can all agree on that. But I think they just had to do it so that it would match Cordelia's. Also, I'll put a picture of the Chain of Gold cover, but I do think that they did the hair so that they would like coincide with each other, and they're also looking opposite ways, which Cassandra Clare like touched upon, like that she thought was like a cool aspect. So I think that's just like fully aesthetic purposes. Also I think that it makes sense that Lucy is on the cover of the second book, because Lucy and Cordelia are destined and meant to be parabatai. Like, they have already said that they want to be parabatai, they just haven't got this like ceremony done. But since they're parabatai, it's kind of cool that they're next to each other like on the covers, and it makes sense to me. Next, I want to move on to Jesse's locket. So we see Lucy is holding Jesse's locket, and we already know that Lucy and Jesse have like a thing. Like, they are connected, they are very good friends ever since Lucy was young. Like, Lucy is the only one that can see Jesse besides his family, so it's just a whole ordeal in itself. But the locket is the very same locket from Chain of Gold that was like Jesse's last breath, which Jesse used to bring James back from the dead for Lucy. And I still think that we're gonna have that the locket's gonna have some like plot development, like it's gonna have something to do with the plot like as we go on. So I think that's a cool detail that they put it on the cover. Also, I think it's going to be a bit like foreshadowing of Lucy and Jesse still having some unfinished business, of course, and just like we're gonna see further development in their characters. So the background, Cassandra Clare touched on that she liked it, that it was a forest, the trees and everything, and really the main purpose of that is it's winter and it's just the setting of the book. The last one, Chain of Gold, had leaves like fall. This one has, you know, the forest, it's blue, very wintry vibes because it is winter. Now, I will talk about the elephant in the room, everything that everyone has a giant ass problem with for some reason. I mean, they have a giant problem with it. Maybe it's because it's giant on the cover of the book, but I'm talking about the giant moth, all of the moths on the cover. And at first, I'll admit, I was like, what is this? Why are there giant bugs flying on the cover of Chain of Iron? What is this? Why are there bugs in her hair? But once you look past that and you know what they are, it's kind of a little bit more digestible. Is that how you use digestible? I don't know. I don't know if you can use it in a context that's not food. I think you can. Anyway, okay, so the name of these moths are Death's Head Hawk moths, and basically they have their name because on the back of the moth's head it has a skull pattern. So like just the way that this bug looks, it has a skull on it. And do I think that coincides with Chain of Iron a lot? Yes. Is death a very prevalent theme with Lucy? Yes, she can talk and control, she can talk to and control the dead. So yeah, it makes sense. And it's not even like a giant ugly thing. Like, I get why there's a giant one right there above the word iron. It's because you need to know what kind of moth it is, or else it would be just random moths. But when you can see it with the big one, you can see the skull pattern on it. So I think that that was done on purpose, and it was necessary to have a bigger one so that you don't think that they're just random bugs. Cassie said that since there was leaves in Cordelia's hair, because she just thought it would be cool to have leaves in Cordelia's hair, she thought it would be cool to have something in Lucy's hair, or her publishing team, or the cover designers, or whatever team thought that there needed to be something in Lucy's hair. So that's what they come up with. The only other thing I can think of is that maybe this is a sort of like warning or symbolism for upcoming death in Chain of Iron. I mean, a couple people died in Chain of Gold, so I don't put it past Cassandra Clare that we're gonna lose some people in Chain of Iron. I hope it's not anybody drastic that we have grown to love, but I could see it still representing death in a more like harsh way. Like, it could also mean Jesse coming back from the dead, and I hope it's that way, and I hope it's not somebody dying, but I think it could be. Next, I want to talk about the color scheme. So the predominant colors, of course, are this yellow and blue color, and Cassandra Clare said that cover designers like to use those colors because they're at opposite ends of the color spectrum, which I think makes sense. And she also said there's no significance to Lucy's dress being yellow, like at all. It's just for visual aesthetic purposes. I personally like it. I think that it's very different than what we've seen from her other books. The other books have more muted colors. Like, there's no bright yellow like that. There are some like more emerald greenish blues, but not like a blue. Also like, I don't know, like more faded blues, but I feel like this is a very light, very dominant blue, and maybe that's because it's contrasted with this bright yellow, but I don't hate it. I don't think it's bad. I think it looks good. I think it matches the kind of greenish mint color of the cover of Chain of Gold. I think they'll look really pretty next to each other. They don't exactly go together, like they don't exactly look like they were in the same series because they have different colored spines, and it's kind of a little bit weird, but it also weirdly goes together, and I'm not mad at it. I actually like blue. Blue is my favorite color. Like you can see this big sign I have back here, it's blue. It's kind of similar to this cover color, and I like it. Also, I feel like they just used that yellow to bring out the yellow in the moths. And it's fine. Lucy could wear yellow. I'm sure that she would love the color yellow, okay? And it's also a really good color for her because I feel like she's just a happy, you know, like yellow person, and I'm not mad at it. So lastly, I want to talk about the title. The title is Chain of Iron, and this is all just my speculation from this point forward, but I feel like because it's called Chain of Iron, well, let's backtrack. So Chain of Gold, before Chain of Gold started, we didn't know exactly what Chain of Gold meant. I know Cassandra Clare took it from a Charles Dickens poem, but we didn't know like what it actually represented. And so when we read Chain of Gold, you find out that the chain of gold is actually Jesse's locket. And so on this cover, you can see it. It's gold chain, whatever. And so for Chain of Iron, I am definitely speculating that it is going to refer to the bracelet or the gracelet that James wears because of Grace, who I don't like. If you haven't seen any of my reviews or anything, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent like I did before, but I hate Grace so much and I don't want to see her redeemed. Anyway, I think that it is referring to the bracelet because of what we've seen from the Chain of Gold being referred to Jesse's locket. So I'm excited to see if I'm right. I'm excited to see like more about this bracelet, and then maybe the last cover for Chain of Thorns will be James and he'll be wearing his bracelet, and then it'll kind of coincide because Chain of Iron has the Chain of Gold locket, and then Chain of Thorns will have the Chain of Iron bracelet. So that's what I'm hoping. That's kind of what I'm envisioning. Could be wrong, but I feel like Chain of Iron is definitely gonna delve more into the freaking bracelet. Oh my god, I'm stressed out. I've finally like gotten over all of this shit that went on in that book, like with Grace, and I'm gonna get angry again. It's just like reopening all these wounds. But anyway, those are all of my speculations. That is my breakdown and analysis of everything on the cover. Let me know down below if you have anything that I missed or want to contribute any of your own theories about Chain of Iron, like what's going to be in the book. If you have any theories, let me know. Also, what do you think about the cover? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you like the colors? Do you hate the bugs? Let me know in the comments. But that's pretty much all I have to say for this video. So I hope you like this video. Hope you like this video down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!